Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. I thought I would sit down and show you guys my everyday makeup routine at the moment, because every time lately that I have posted a photo on Instagram or even just like gone on my stories on Instagram wearing this makeup, you guys want to know what products I'm using. And the other funny thing is that I'm constantly getting comments and like messages saying, oh my god, you're glowing. And I think it's because I'm pregnant. Like, people just automatically want to tell you that you've got like that pregnancy glow. But to be completely honest, I don't feel like I'm glowing. I don't think I have a pregnancy glow. I actually think it's just the products that I use when I do my makeup, because you guys know I love a glowy natural kind of a look, and so I think people just like see me with my makeup on and they're like, wow, you're glowing. But yeah, it's actually the products that I've been using. So I'm excited to show you guys this today. I used to do like a yearly everyday makeup routine, and I realized I never did one for last year, which is so weird. So now that we're in 2022, I thought I would just do like an updated routine. Some of these products you've probably seen before, because like I've just loved them for so many years, and when I get into a routine of liking something, it's hard for me to stray away from that product and try other things. So some of this stuff you might not have seen, some of it you may have seen, but yeah, enough rambling. I am just going to jump straight into it. All right, I'm just going to put a little, oh my god, this has hair all over it. I'm gonna put this headband in just to help keep my hair away from my face. So all these little baby hairs around the side that always get stuck when I'm doing like my cream contour and my foundation. There we go. All right, so for primer, I've been really loving the Mercier Pure Canvas Primer. This is actually an illuminating primer, so it makes your skin look really glowy, and the light just bounces off it really nicely. And I really love the combination of this primer and the foundation that I'm about to show you too. I feel like they sit really well on the skin together. Sometimes primer and foundation combos just do not work, so when you find a combo that does work, it's like the best ever. Oh my god, my skin goes so red whenever I touch it. Does anyone else's do that? Like, I look like I've been sunburnt, but it's literally just from me touching my skin. It's always been like that. It's really strange. This is also silicone free as well, and I find that a lot of silicone primers tend to like ball up on my skin and just not, they kind of like sit on top of the skin rather than like blending into your skin. So I really like the fact that it's silicone free. And then for foundation, I've been using this like on and off for years and years, and I just recently discovered it a couple of months ago again, because it was the only foundation that I had in my drawer that matched my current shade. So I kind of picked it back up and started using it again, and ever since I'm like loving it. This is the Bobbi Brown Skin Foundation. This is SPF 15, so it's a really good everyday foundation to incorporate some SPF into your skin. So I just take 3 pumps and then go in with my beauty sponge and just blend all of that in. This is the shade Warm Sand 2.5, and it just matches me perfectly at the moment because I don't have like any fake tan on or anything like that. It's a little bit more pale compared to like the tops of my shoulders, but once I bronze and cream contour, it matches really well. So this has like a super natural finish to it. It's very skin-like and so lightweight as well. Like, you don't feel like you're wearing makeup when you're wearing this foundation. Maybe it's just the way that I'm blending it, like with the beauty sponge, because the beauty sponge is wet. It helps to like keep it nice and nourished and hydrated into my skin. But yeah, I just love it as like an everyday foundation. You can see here, like, it doesn't cover every blemish. It is definitely like a lower coverage, but if I wanted a little bit more coverage, I can just go in with a little bit of concealer over the top, or just build up the foundation a bit more. But I'm not really too fussed about like having a few breakouts. Nobody's skin is perfect. We all have breakouts, so yeah, I don't really mind. To be honest though, considering how low coverage it is, I do feel like it neutralizes my skin really well. Like before I applied the foundation, it was looking quite blotchy. Like I had little red patches here and there where I had like a little bit of inflammation. But even though you can still see a few of the breakouts coming through, it's definitely neutralized my skin tone, which I really like, especially around my nose here. Like I get really red around there at the moment. I don't know if that's like pregnancy hormones, but yeah, I just feel like it kind of gives me like a really clean, neutral base to work with. Also, speaking of like low coverage everyday foundations, I was recently sent the Bare Minerals Original Liquid Mineral Foundation. I've got a few different shades here. This is SPF 20 and I've been really wanting to try it out. So if you guys want to see like a first impression video on this, let me know. I'm intrigued because it's mineral, and obviously, I don't know, just being pregnant and stuff, I'm very aware of what I'm putting into my body and putting onto my skin at the moment. So I really like the idea that it's mineral, but I've also tried a Bare Minerals tinted moisturizer that I really liked as well. So I don't know, it just has me intrigued. I really want to try out that foundation, but if you guys want to see a first impression, I'm more than happy to do it on camera and kind of like film a little review first impression video for you guys. So let me know in the comments down below. All right, so next up I've been going in with this Laura Mercier Secret Camouflage Brighten and Correct Duo Stick. Bit of a weird one because I don't like the brightening end of this at all. I feel like it doesn't do anything, but the correcting camouflage side is amazing. So I only really use it for that one side. This is the shade 3C. I'll do one eye first so that you guys can see the difference, but I just love the way that it like hides my dark circles, which is going to be very handy when I have a newborn. So I just pop a little bit around my eye like that and then pat it in with the Beauty Blender. I find that most of the darkness is around like here and then up into the like hollow area of my eye. Hollow, is that the right word to explain that area? I don't know. But I feel like instantly you can just see like how much of a difference it makes. It just brightens and makes me look a little bit more alive. And it's such a lightweight product as well, so it doesn't matter if you pop it on and then conceal over the top, like it still doesn't feel heavy or anything. It's actually really nice and natural on the skin, but like it works really well. Sometimes as well on like no makeup days, if I don't want to wear any makeup but I just want to look a little bit more alive, I'll literally just go in with this under my eyes and it makes the world of difference. So yeah, in my opinion, I'd still like repurchase this just for the correcting camouflage side because I love it that much. All right, and then I go in with my holy grail. I've been using this concealer for years now. This is the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in the shade Light to Vanilla. And I basically just pop a little bit on the inner corner there and then a little bit on the outer section. I do that on both eyes, and then what I've been doing recently is just letting that sit while I do my cream contour, because I find that letting it sit and kind of settle into my skin before I blend it helps it to not crease. And I don't really set my under eyes anymore. Moving on to cream contour, I'm going in with the Clinique Chubby Contour Stick. This is also another holy grail of mine. I've been using it for literally years. So I just pop a tiny little line on my cheekbone there. And then just a couple of little dabs around my forehead. And then I go back in with the sponge that I use to blend out my foundation. And I just dab that into my skin. I find that the excess foundation that's left on the sponge helps to really blend it in seamlessly as well. It's so crazy. I remember there was a time when I used to be so scared of using cream products. Like I would literally only use powder products on my face, like powder bronzer, powder blush, powder foundation, everything. And like my skin must have looked like the freaking Sahara Desert. I just don't understand how I ever did my makeup like that. But discovering cream products was literally the best thing I ever did, I reckon. They just blend so much better into your skin and like look so much more skin-like and natural and glowy. Oh, they're just, yeah. I don't know how I was ever scared to use them. Alrighty, now that that's all blended and my concealer has been sitting there for a couple of minutes, I'm gonna go in and blend that out with the pointy end of my beauty sponge. Any excess that's left on the sponge as well, I just tap onto my eyelid just to help kind of cover up some of the veins on my eyelid and the darkness there as well. Alright, and then for some cream blush, I'm going in with the Charlotte Tilbury Glowgasm Beauty Light Wand. This is the Pinkgasm shade. I am so obsessed with these beauty light ones. Unfortunately, they are out of stock a lot of the time because they are so popular, but I've been using them for years and I feel like this is what gives me that glow that everyone always comments on. It's just the most beautiful, like healthy glow in your complexion. And they blend into your skin so seamlessly. It literally looks so natural. So don't be alarmed when it first goes on because you'll be like, what on earth? Once it blends out, it's beautiful. So I'm just going to dab 2 dots on each side, kind of like towards the apples of my cheeks. And then I take my beauty sponge and just pat that into my skin. Oh my god, instantly. Can you guys see how glowy and healthy that makes my skin look? If you haven't tried these already, they need to be on the top of your like beauty wish list. I physically cannot do my makeup without using these light ones now. Like I love them. I'm getting puffed just talking about it because they get me so excited. But also pregnancy as well. Just in general, pregnancy makes you really puffed. All right, I'm gonna zoom you guys in and show you my skin up close with these products because it just looks so natural and glowy. I'm obsessed with this whole base combination. Also, don't look at my eyebrows. All right, now to very, very lightly set my face, I'm gonna go in with the Laura Mercier translucent powder. This is also a holy grail. I think I've been through like 5 different containers of this. I literally love it and pretty much never use any other powder other than this. But like I said, I only like to use this very, very lightly. It just helps my makeup to last a little bit better throughout the day. And if I get oily throughout the day, this kind of just like soaks it in and I don't look like a disco ball. So I just go in with a little bit of powder on my brush and just pat it into my skin. I also feel like this powder has like some sort of magic powers where it makes all of the products on your skin just blend together even better than they already were. It just makes everything look like it melts together. I don't know how to explain it. And like I mentioned before, I don't really set my under eyes anymore. I actually learned that technique from the makeup artist that did my bridal makeup trial last year before what was supposed to be our wedding date. She didn't set my under eyes and she explained to me that that's why, so that you can kind of go back in and pat them out throughout the day. The products still last really well, the coverage is still really nice, but it just keeps it looking a lot more natural and a lot more hydrated under there. So ever since then, I have not been setting my under eyes and I love it. So if you have issues with creasing, try it. You might be surprised. All right, then I'm just gonna take a little bit of NARS Laguna bronzer. This, I remember, was the first NARS product I think I ever owned back in the day. It was like the one bronzer that everyone raved about. I still really love it. Like, it's still one of my favorite bronzers ever. I kind of switch between this and the Hoola bronzer, but at the moment I feel like Hoola is a little bit too dark for my skin just because I've like not been spending any time in the sun. I don't have fake tan on at all. So yeah, I prefer Laguna at the moment, but it's a holy grail and I've been coming back to it for years. So I just take a tiny bit. I honestly don't go in with much of this, and I just use an angled contour brush just to add a little bit more definition to my cheekbones, because we've already kind of used the cream contour to give us the bronzy glow, and this is just going to help create a little bit more dimension. Also, sometimes if I'm feeling extra fancy, which is not often, but sometimes I'll just take a teeny tiny bit, or like the excess that's left on the brush from doing my cheeks, and I just kind of brush this lightly over my nose and do like the world's laziest nose contour. And then I also will just brush a little bit over my eyelids. I really don't spend a lot of time on this. I more just like brush a little bit of the color over, just because I feel like it ties everything together. And then for blush, I've been kind of switching it up between like a few different blushes, but my current favorite is NARS Orgasm. This is the one that I just grabbed straight out of my like makeup bag from when I traveled to Melbourne recently. I love it. I've loved it for years. Again, very similar to NARS Laguna. I feel like this was one of the second or third NARS products I ever purchased for myself, and I love it. It's such a cult favorite. Holy grail. It lasts all day long as well, which I find is kind of hard to find with blushes. A lot of blushes just kind of melt into your skin and disappear into the oblivion, but this one I feel like actually lasts throughout the day. So I just grab a little bit of that on my brush. You'll notice like I tapped off a lot of the excess just because it can be quite full on. And then yeah, just lightly tap it onto the apples of my cheeks, and then bring it up my cheekbones a little bit as well. And then anything that's left on my brush, I kind of just tap over my nose. And then another little trick which I've always done is just go back in with the brush that I used for my translucent powder to set my face, and I just go over the top of the bronzer and the blush just to help kind of melt them both in together. And I feel like any excess powder that's left on this brush just helps with that process. And then for highlighter, I am still obsessed and still using the Benefit Dandelion Twinkle highlighter. It's so funny. I actually had a conversation with one of the girls that works at Benefit, and she was like, it's so weird that you love that so much, because like we don't sell it very often and we don't see many people raving about it. And I'm like, really? Because I've been through so many of these. I am obsessed, and I have been for years. I just love how it looks on my skin. I love the way it blends in, the way it catches the light. And yeah, I've personally never really heard that many other people talking about it, but I really like it. So if you haven't tried it, highly, highly recommend. Like, look at the indent that I've got in this. Like, I use this stuff a lot, and this is my third repurchase of it. So I don't know why more people don't talk about it. Maybe I'm the only one that likes it. It's just so natural and subtle. Like, it's really, I don't know, maybe people don't like subtle. So nothing's changed. I still like to drown my face in highlighter. So I take it on the tops of my cheekbones, down the bridge of my nose. I pop a little bit on the high point of my brow bone just to really highlight all those stray hairs. I really need to tweeze. And then I also take a little bit just above the brow here. This section of my forehead, or like most people's foreheads, I assume, is what catches the light when like the sun hits it, or when the lights above hit it. So it's a really nice spot to just put a little bit of highlighter if you want to look really glowy throughout the day. And then again, just going back in with that powder brush. All right, now to set all of those base products in place, I have been loving the Fenty Beauty What It Do makeup setting spray. I kind of switch between this and the Urban Decay all-nighter setting spray. That is like an OG favorite, but I do really like this one as well because it sets your makeup really, really nicely and keeps it looking like nice and naturally glowy throughout the day too. So again, I think this is like my second bottle and I really don't have that much left in it. I love this stuff. The spray is a really, really fine mist too, so it sits really nicely on top of your skin and just like melts in. All right, and then for my brows, I've been kind of switching up my brow products a bit lately too, but today I'm just gonna stick with Benefit. I feel like that's always a safe brow option. So I'm just gonna go in with the 24-hour brow setter gel. I don't have my brows laminated at the moment, so they don't brush up as easily as they normally do. But I like to do this step before I go in with a brow pencil, just because I've got my brows tattooed on, so I don't actually need that much pencil. So I like to brush them up into place first and then fill in any gaps once the hairs are sitting where I want them. All right, I feel like that's the best that is gonna happen today. My brow hairs are so stubborn, which is why I love brow laminations so much. So maybe this is my reminder to book in and get my brows done again. And then just to fill in any of those gaps, I'm gonna go in with the Precisely My Brow Pencil in shade 3.5. This has been one of my favorite brow pencils for ages because it's got that really fine tip, so it helps to give those like hair-like strokes rather than giving that blocky kind of brow look, if you know what I mean. So I literally just add a few strokes to the areas that look a little bit sparse. This side, for some reason, doesn't tend to need as much. I think it's just like faded differently to the other side. So that is basically all I do. And then I just go over one last time with the gel. And then moving on to eyes, I really don't do much in terms of like eyeshadow or anything for an everyday look. I like to keep it really natural, and that's why I just kind of brush a little bit of the bronzer over my eyelids when I'm like doing my contour. I feel like that just kind of naturally enhances my crease, ties it all in together, and then I just pop on some mascara. One of my current faves is the Fenty Beauty Full Frontal Mascara. I switch between this and the Anastasia Beverly Hills Lash Brag. Is that what it's called? Anyway, those two mascaras, funnily enough, have like identical packaging to one another, like very similar, but I really like both of them. So I kind of switch between the two. Today is a Fenty day. Usually I have a lash lift as well, but again, I am due to get that done. So I just quickly curled my lashes a bit. I like to kind of do two coats. So I do the first coat, let that dry, and then come back like a couple of minutes later and do the second coat. And I feel like it just builds up the perfect amount of volume. And there's something about this brush. It separates your lashes so nicely. Oh my God, I always end up with mascara somewhere else on my face. Like I can't even remember the last time I did my makeup and didn't get mascara everywhere. I'm the worst. I'm so messy with mascara. And then another little trick that I like to do, which I feel like is another reason why I always get comments on like how glowy I look. I like to put a little bit of highlighter on my inner corners. And I feel like this is really subtle but effective. It's not super obvious. People probably never notice that I've done it, but it just kind of contributes to the overall like natural, healthy, glowy complexion. So I just grab a tiny, teeny little brush. This is the Colourpop E29, and pick up a little bit of Dandelion Twinkle and just pat it onto the inner corner. And straight away, I don't know if you can tell, but straight away it just like opens up my eyes, makes such a difference. So I never, even though it's so subtle, I never skip this step. Alrighty, and now for lips. To be honest, sometimes I don't even do lipstick. I feel like my natural lip color is so like rich in itself that some days I can just get away with putting a little bit of my Laneige lip mask on, which I use as like my everyday lip gloss slash balm. So hydrating, looks so nice on the lips, like so plump. But then other days I like to do a little bit more, and because I'm filming a video after this, I'm gonna do proper lipstick. So my current favorite combo, I feel really bad saying this because this lipstick's discontinued and I have not been able to find a decent dupe for it, but this is the Too Faced Strip Search lipstick and I pair it with MAC Boldly Bare lip liner. But I have just been through my drawers and I found this Charlotte Tilbury, no, it just doesn't compare. Never mind. I'm just gonna stick to this combo. If you guys have a dupe for the Too Faced Strip Search lipstick, please let me know because it's just like the best nude. It's so pretty. All right, so I've just lined my lips with Boldly Bare. This is getting so teeny tiny because I've been using it for years. And then I go in with this, which is, as you can see, a lot lighter than the lip liner. But once we blend them in together, it seriously is just the nicest combo. I love it. And I'm really sorry for using something that's discontinued that you can't get. I feel terrible, but it's my go-to. It's my everyday color. I'd be lying to you guys if I didn't use this. And then that is my finished everyday makeup look. My go-to. This is literally what I've been using on my face for the past, I don't know, 6 months. Sometimes I switch some products up if I've got like another product that I really want to try out. But these are the products I constantly come back to and I just know they work. They're the products that I pack in my makeup bag if I'm traveling. They're like the pick of the collection for me. So I hope you guys found this interesting. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give this video a big thumbs up. I'm gonna try and get more makeup videos up for you guys because I do like genuinely miss just sitting down and talking about makeup with you. So like I said earlier in the video, if you want to see a review on the Bare Minerals Original Liquid Mineral Foundation, let me know. I also went through my drawers the other day and did like a massive cull and found a whole bunch of products that I've never used before still in the packaging, and I probably have enough to do like a full face of products I've never used as well. So if that's something else you guys want to see, let me know. I'm open to suggestions. I really want to get back into creating makeup content for you guys. So anyways, if you haven't subscribed already, feel free to hit the subscribe button down below and become a part of the family here on YouTube. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.